Hi everyone, this is Irene. I hope all are safe and healthy at home. Home, stay safe and stay connected with us. Vidya Lakshmi Senior Secondary School is streaming now on YouTube. Join us to celebrate the joy of learning at Vidya Lakshmi Senior Secondary School. In my previous video, you have learned about fundamentals of Python, what is character set in Python, what are tokens in Python, and what are the different kinds of tokens present in Python. And also you have learned about the two tokens, keywords and identifiers. In this video, we are going to learn about the other token, literals in Python. Let us begin now. Literals. What are literals? They are also referred as values. So let us begin now. Literals are data items. They have a fixed or constant values. So once if they were created in a program, they never change their value during the program run. These are referred as literals. Python has the following literals. They are string literal, numeric literal, boolean literal, and the special literal none. So what are the literals of Python? They are string literal, numeric literal, boolean literal, and the special literal none. So in this video, we are going to learn about the string literal. Let us begin now. String literals. What are string literal? A string literal is a sequence of characters surrounded by single quote or double quote or triple quote. If any character or number or symbol, if it is surrounded by single or double or triple quote, they are referred as a string literal. Let us see some valid string literals of Python. Here you can see the word Johnny that has been surrounded within single quote. So this is a valid string literal, and here we have got Tony that is surrounded within single quote, that is referred as a valid string literal, and here we have some numbers, they are enclosed within single quote, and this is also a valid string literal, and here we have got some characters and some symbols, they are enclosed within double quotes, and this is a valid string literal, and here we have got some numbers and a character, they are surrounded within double quotes, and this is also a valid string literal of Python. Let us see what are escape sequences. To represent the non-graphic characters, Python uses escape sequences. Let us begin now. So Python allows certain non-graphic characters in string values. These non-graphic characters are those characters that cannot be typed directly from the keyboard. Example, backspace, tabs, carriage return, and etc. So to represent the non-graphic characters, we use escape sequences. Non-graphic characters are also referred as white spaces. What are these white spaces or non-graphic characters? These are characters that cannot be directly typed from the keyboard. So to represent these non-graphic characters in our Python programming, we use escape sequences, right? So also these escape sequences will be starting with the backslash and followed by one or more characters it used to have. So let us see what are the escape sequences of Python. The first escape sequence is double backslash. What is the purpose of double backslash? We have to see, and also you must know these backslash can be directly typed from the keyboard. Then why do we use backslash as an escape sequence, double backslash as an escape sequence? Though this character can be directly typed from the keyboard, when it is used without the escape sequences, it has a special meaning and special purpose. To remove the special meaning and special purpose and also to print the character as it is, we have to use the escape sequence double backslash. So you can just see an example over here. Here there is a print statement. This print statement, it starts with the double quotes and it ends with the double quotes. And here you can see here C:\\\, new line file dot new file dot py. This has been just given here. So I wanted this path name to be printed as it is, but I have got the output as C:\, and here ew file dot py. But what I wanted is I wanted C:\\, new file dot py to be printed as it is. But what does the Python interpreter it has done is, it has taken this \n as a escape sequence and it has interpreted as a new line. So this C:\, that has been printed here, and this \n has been interpreted as a new line. That's why the characters following the \n that has been printed in the next line. That's why you can see ew file dot py has been printed in the next line. But if I wanted to print this path name as it is, what should I do? I have to use, in place of this one single backslash, I have to use double backslash. I have used double backslash over here. So I have got the answer as C:\\new file dot py. This way, this backslash works in a print statement. So let us see the next escape sequence of Python, which is backslash single quote. Even this single quote can be directly typed from the keyboard. Then why do we use the escape sequence for this? Even this single quote also, when it is used without escape sequences, it has got a special meaning and special purpose. So if you wanted this single quote to be printed as it is, we have to use the escape sequence backslash and single quotes. So let us see the example now. Here there is a print statement which starts with a single quote and ends with a single quote. And here again inside these single quotes, I wanted to have a single quote. But it has got a error over here. The reason is Python interpreter started interpreting from this starting single quote and till this single quote, and the remaining characters have been left out. So as Python interpreter does not understand, it has given the syntax error as the rules of the programming language has been violated. But inside these single quotes, if you wanted to print the single quote, what you have to do? You can use backslash single quote. So I have got the output as the one I have expected. So I have got Virat's. Like the single quote has been printed inside this. So I have started with a single quote, ended with a single quote. Here inside I have used backslash single quote. So in place of backslash single quote, I have got a single quote over here. So this is the way the backslash single quote it works. And let us see what is the next escape sequence, that is backslash double quotes. So here this double quotes also can be directly typed from the keyboard, but when it is used without escape sequences, it has got a special meaning. But when you wanted to print this double quotes as it is, then we have to use backslash and double quotes over here. So let us understand this with a concept over here. You can just see here there is a print statement which begins with a double quotes and here ends with a double quotes. But in between again we wanted to have a double quotes. But Python interpreter, it started interpreting from here and it has ended here itself, and all the other characters have been left out, and Python interpreter cannot interpret what it is, so it has given a syntax error as the rules of the programming language has been violated. But if you wanted these double quotes has to be printed as it is, and if you wanted the entire things to be printed as it is, we have to give a backslash and double quotes and backslash and double quotes. As we have started with a double quotes and ended with a double quotes, inside if you wanted to have a double quotes again, we have to use backslash double quotes and backslash double quotes. We have got the expected result here. This way, this escape sequence backslash double quotes works. And let us see what is the next escape sequence, which is backslash A. This is the ASCII bell. What is the purpose of this? It makes a bell alert sound. So if you wanted to have a bell alert sound in your programming, you can use this escape sequence backslash A. If you see here in a print statement within double quotes, backslash A has been given. All the escape sequences are string literals. So when we represent these escape sequences, they should be surrounded within quotes, right? So when I give this backslash A, one audible bell alert sound will be heard in our programming. Okay, so now let us move on to the next escape sequence, which is backslash B. So what is the purpose of backslash B? Let us see now. Backslash B is a backspace, ASCII backspace. So what is the purpose of this backslash B? It removes previous characters. What is the purpose of this? It removes previous characters. So if you wanted to remove a previous character in your programming, you can use backslash B. So let us understand this through this Python statement. So you can just see here there is a print statement which begins with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then backslash B and then program. Here backslash B is there. What is the character before backslash B? We have got number 5. So what is the purpose of this backslash B? It removes the previous character. So number 5 will be removed, and what answer you will be receiving is 1, 2, 3, 4 and then program. So here you can just see here 1, 2, 3, 4 and program has been given as an answer. So this is the purpose of backslash B. Now let us see what is the next escape sequence, which is backslash F. This backslash F is meant for ASCII form field, and it is a page breaking ASCII control character. What is the purpose of ASCII form field is it makes the printer eject the current page and start printing from the top of the next page. That is the purpose of the ASCII form field. So let us move on to the next escape sequence, which is \n. You must know what is the purpose of this \n. It is meant for new line character and it creates a new line in a string. So if you wanted to create a new line in a string, we have to use a \n as escape sequence. So you can just see here there is a print statement. Here hello \n world has been printed. Where \n is there, in that place onwards, whatever characters are following, that will be printed in the next line because it creates a new line in this place. So the characters following \n will be printed in the next line. That's why hello has been printed here and the characters following \n has been printed in the next line. This is the purpose of the escape sequence \n. Let us see what is the next escape sequence, which is \N and within curly braces name. So you have got this escape sequence which has got more than like one character, right? So you can just see what is the purpose of this. This is the character named name in the Unicode database. We have to use Unicode only. Let us understand this concept using Python statement over here. You can see here there is a print statement which begins with the double quotes and ends with the double quotes, and I have started \N. Within curly braces I have given the name of the Unicode character. So when you give the name of the Unicode character, it prints the equivalent Unicode character as the output, right? So if you know the name of a Unicode character, that name can be given over here. So equivalent Unicode character will be printed as the answer. Again here there is another example. Within double quotes we have started with \n. Within curly braces we have given Greek small letter pi. So this Greek small letter pi has been printed as a character over here. So this is the purpose of this escape sequence \N and within curly braces name. So in place of a name we have to give the Unicode character name, right? So next let us move on to the next escape sequence, which is \R. This \R is meant for the carriage return. So what is the purpose of carriage return? We'll see. It moves all the characters after CR to the beginning of the line while overriding the same number of characters moved. Okay. So first let us see from this. It moves all the characters after CR. So let us see this through the example. You can just see here there is a print statement which begins with the double quotes, and here there is a word called Python, and after that there is an escape sequence /R. So here according to this, it moves all the lines after CR, and we have got a CR over here. CR is a carriage return. We have got a carriage return over here. It moves all the characters after CR. How many characters are there after CR? We have got 3 characters. So all these characters will be moved to the beginning of a line. All these characters will be moved to the beginning of a line while overriding same number of characters. So here how many characters are there? There are 3 characters. So how many characters have to be overridden here? 3 characters. So these 3 characters will be overridden by these 3 characters. So in place of P, 1 will be overwritten, and then in place of Y, number 2 will be overwritten. In place of T, number 3 will be overwritten. So in the answer what we will be getting? So 1, 2, 3, right? And then HON. So 1, 2, 3 HON has been printed as an answer for us. So this is the purpose of a carriage return. What is the purpose of carriage return? The carriage return moves all the characters after CR to the beginning of a line while overriding the same number of characters. Now let us move on to the next escape sequence, which is \T. So what is the purpose of \T? It is a horizontal tab. What is the purpose of \T? This is a horizontal tab. So if you wanted to have a horizontal tab space in your programming, we have to use \T. So here in your example, you can just see here there is a print statement which begins with a double quotes and ends with a double quotes, and here number 1, 2, 3 \T has been given. So where \T is there, you will be getting a space, empty space. In Python, 4 character spaces are tab spaces. So you have got 4 character spaces over here. So this is the purpose of \T. Next, let us move on to the next escape sequence, which is backslash U and X. So this is meant for digits, number of digits, that is for hexadecimal digits. Okay, so it is character with 16-bit hexadecimal values. 16-bit hex values can be represented within 4 digits. Okay, so here in a print statement you can see after backslash U, 4-digit hexadecimal value when it is given, its equivalent Unicode character will be printed. So Unicode only it is given. Okay, so after backslash U, when 4-digit hexadecimal number when it is given, so its equivalent Unicode character will be printed for us. And again here there is another example. After backslash U we have got 051B. This is one of the hexadecimal value, and this is equivalent to 16-bit hexadecimal value. Okay, so its equivalent Unicode character has been printed as an answer for us, right? So let us move on to the next escape sequence, which is backslash U, and then X has been printed for 8 times. You can just see here. So it is meant for 8 digits. So what kind of digits? Hexadecimal digits. So those 8 hexadecimal digits are equivalent to 32-bit hex values. So in your print statement, when you give backslash U and then 8-digit hexadecimal value, its equivalent Unicode character will be printed as an answer. So again here there is another example. We have a print statement which begins with backslash U and there are 8 hexadecimal digits are given. So its equivalent Unicode character has been printed as an answer for us, right? So this is the way this escape sequence it works in Python. So now let us move on to the next escape sequence, which is backslash V. This is meant for ASCII vertical tab, and this is not applicable in Python, so let us omit this. And let us move on to the next escape sequence, which is backslash O. So let us see what is the purpose of this escape sequence. This escape sequence which is meant for printing the ASCII value. So the purpose of this escape sequence is for printing the ASCII value of the equivalent octal values. Okay, so ASCII character will be printed over here. So we can just see here octal value we have got O. So 3-digit octal value, 3-digit octal value after backslash when it is given, its equivalent ASCII character will be printed as an answer for us. Again here there is another example, backslash 102 it has been given, its equivalent ASCII character has been printed as an answer for us. And in this value we should not use the numbers 8 as well as 9. 8 and 9 should not be used because they are not the part of octal values, right? So only what kind of numbers can be used after backslash? We can use the numbers from 0 to 7 only can be used. Okay, so this is the purpose of the escape sequence backslash O. So let us move on to the next escape sequence, which is backslash X. So this X is meant for the hexadecimal value. So character with hex value HH. So how many digit hex value we have to give? 2-digit hex value we have to give. So after backslash X, here 2-digit hex value it has been given. So its equivalent ASCII character has been printed as an answer over here. Again here there is another example. After backslash X, there is 2-digit hexadecimal value has been given. Its equivalent ASCII character has been printed as an answer for us. So this is the way the escape sequence backslash X HH works. So this HH is meant for hexadecimal value. How many digit hexadecimal value? They are 2-digit hexadecimal value. Now we have just learned all the escape sequences of Python, and as a conclusion here it is given, though the characters backslash, single quote and double quote can be typed from the keyboard, but when they are used without escape sequences, they carry a special meaning and special purpose. And however, if the characters backslash, single quote and double quote ought to be typed as it is, then escape sequences ought to be used. Because already I was telling when I was explaining those examples, we can type backslash, single quote and double quote directly from the keyboard, but as they have got a special meaning, we have to use escape sequences if we have to print them as it is, right? So here there is another example, because like in the example we have just learned, suppose if I start with a double quotes and end with a double quote, inside again if I wanted to have a double quote, I have to use a escape sequence. But if I begin with a single quote and if I end with a single quote, I'll just show you with this example. I began with a single quote and I have ended with a single quote, right? But now when I wanted to print a double quote inside, I need not use the escape sequence backslash and double quotes, right? So directly I can use it. Because I have started with a single quote, I have ended a single quote here only. So the string literal will be starting from here to here. Inside whatever we just give, that will be considered as a part of a string literal only. So same as if I start with a double quotes and if I end with a double quote, inside if I wanted to have a single quote, I can have it. Okay, so that's why it is given. In Python, double quotes can be typed inside the single quoted string and vice versa. So this is the way like string literals, it works in Python. So now let us move on to the string types in Python. So we must know what are the types of strings. So let us see what are the types of strings now. The string literal can be either of single line strings or multi-line strings. So how many types of strings are there? We have single line string and multi-line string. Let us see what are single line strings. Single line strings are basic strings of Python. So how do we identify what are single line strings? Let us see now. The strings that are created by enclosing string in a single quote or double quote are just called as single line strings. Okay, so if we start with a single quote and end with a single quote, or start with a double quote and end with a double quote, and they are normally referred as a single line string. Also, the single line string must terminate in one line itself. That single line string must terminate in one line itself. And here we have got an example. Here we have started a like a string literal. Here we have started a double quote. In the same line itself, this double quote has been ended. So in one line itself, this string literal has been completed. So this is an example of a single line string literal. And let us move on here. And when we just here, there is an error statement, it has been given. So what is this error? We'll just see here. Here I have just started with a double quote, and after typing some words or characters, I wanted to go to the next line. I wanted to continue in a multi-line. But when I pressed enter over here, immediately it has given an error, because the single line strings, it starts with a single quote and ends with a single quote, and also it has to be ended in the single line itself, but it has expanded in a multiple line, so that's why it has got a error over here. So now let us move on to the next one, that is multi-line strings. What are multi-line strings? Multi-line strings spread across multiple lines. So the strings whichever spread across multiple lines are referred as a multi-line string. So let us just see what is the string literal and what are multi-line strings. And you can just see an example. Even this multi-line strings, they can start with a single quote or double quote. If you start with a single quote or double quote, each line other than the concluding line should have an end character as a backslash. Even this multi-line strings can start with a single quote or double quote, but if you start with a single quote or double quote, all the lines except the last line, they should have a backslash as a end character. But if you start with the triple quotes, no backslash is needed at the end of the intermediate lines. Okay, so let us see this through the example. So you can just see here, there is an example given over here. So I have started with the double quotes and I have just ended with the double quotes. Again, I have started with a single quote and I have ended with a single quote. And this string, it is spanning across or spreading across multiple lines. So here you can just see here S1 equal to Python. I have just given a backslash over here, and here again programming has come in the next line. Okay, so this is considered as a multi-line string because here at the end, end. This is a concluding line. This is the last line, but this is the previous line. So as I have just come to the next line, I have given a backslash over here. So this is considered as a multi-line. And when I just displayed this, it has just given the answer as Python programming. When I printed this, again this has given as a Python programming. So this second line also has joined together as a single line. I have got an answer. But when I was typing this, okay, I have typed in a multi-line. And same as I have started with a single quote and I have ended with a single quote. When I start with a single quote and end with a single quote, again I have to use a backslash at the end of each line. Only 2 lines are here. So in the previous line I have used a backslash. At the concluding line, this is the last line. Here I need not use backslash over here, right? So when I just display this and it has got Python programming, when I printed, again it has given a Python programming answer. Now let us see the next example, and here I have started with the triple quotes. When I start with the triple quotes, what happens? Let us see. When I start with the triple quotes and here the triple quote has been started and triple quote has been ended, I have not used backslash. And these are the lines and this is a concluding line, right? But I have not used the triple quotes over here. The reason, let us see the next example. And here I have started with the triple quote. So when I start with the triple quote, at the concluding, except the concluding lines, I need not give any backslash. Okay, because Python automatically it includes the backslash character, that is backslash n, new line character at the end of each line except the concluding line. So when I just display S3, you can just see here after Python, here I have not included anything, but Python interpreter has included backslash n, that is the new line character. Again here after revision, I have not given anything. Python interpreter, it has automatically included backslash n. Again, the tour, that word has been just printed because that is the last line. So same as when I just print this S3, right? This is a string like variable. So when that string has been printed, all these backslashes, right? Backslash n, the new line characters are there, the escape sequences, right? These were interpreted by Python programming, and by Python has been printed as it is, and new line character has been interpreted. So the characters, whatever following the backslash n, that has been printed in the next line. Again, there is another one backslash n over here. So after revision, tour has been printed in the next line. So when we start with a triple quote and end with a triple quote, we need not give any backslash character at the end of each line except the concluding line. Python automatically includes backslash n or new line character at the end of each line. So this is the thing you must know about this string literal. So you have learned about single line string as well as multi-line string. Let us recapitulate now. So what are literals? Literals are data items. They have fixed or constant values. And a string literal is a sequence of characters surrounded by quotes, single quote, double quote or triple quote. And the non-graphic characters are represented by using the escape sequences. And the string literal can either be single line strings and multi-line strings. So single line strings starts in a single line and ends in a single line itself, and multi-line strings, they spread across multiple lines. And let us move on to the quiz corner. So we have learned about literals, and in that we have learned string literal. Now let us move on to the quiz corner. So the first question, find the output. So what is the question given here? Print within quotes 1 backslash n, number 2 backslash n, and number 3 is given. So how this will be interpreted and what answer we will be getting, let us just see now. According to this print statement, number 1 will be just printed as it is. So I'll just try here. Number 1 will be printed as it is. That is backslash n. So after backslash, whatever it is there, it will be coming to the next line. So number 2 and again number 3, backslash number 3 also will be coming to the next line. Again there is another one backslash, so number 3 will be printed in the next line. So now let us see what is the output for this. The output is, you can just see here, the output is 1, 2, 3. So this is the answer. Number 1 has been printed first, there is a backslash n. So the remaining characters have been brought to the next line, new line. So number 2 has been printed here, and then there is again another backslash n was there. So number 3 has been brought to the new line over here. Okay. So now let us move on to the next question. The second question is print within parenthesis, within single quote, you have got AB backslash T and then CD is there. So backslash T is meant for horizontal tab. So there will be a space after AB and then CD. There will be a like empty space left out, like 4 character spaces will be there. So A, B, and then after some space C and D will be, C and D will be printed for us. Okay, so this is the way this output will be just receiving. Let us see what is the output. Yes, this is the output, and A, B, and we have got some space over here, and then we have got C, D also. Now let us move on to the next question. The next question is find the output and print he said good morning. Okay, we have started with a single quote and we have ended with a single quote. In between we wanted to have a single quote, so we have used a escape sequence, backslash and single quote, again backslash and single quote. So in place of backslash and single quote will be printed. So we will be getting in a print statement, the starting and ending quotes will not be printed. So in between whatever we have given, only those will be printed. So here what output we will be getting is he said comma within quotes good morning and then full stop, and then you will be getting a single quote over here. Let us see what is the answer. This is the answer. He said comma good morning. Okay, so this is the answer printed by this statement. So now let us move on to the next question. Find the output. So what is the output? Here you can just see here there is a print statement, and within quotes 1, 2, 3 backslash B, and then 2, 3 is there. Here how many backslash B's are there? So there are 2 backslash B's. What is the purpose of backslash B? It removes the previous character. So this backslash B will be removing number 3, that is the previous character. The next backslash B will be removing number 2, that is the previous character. So what output will be printed for us? We will be getting number 1 and then 2 and 3 are there after backslash B. So this will be printed as the answer. So let us see what is the answer printed for us. So this is the answer 1, 2, 3 as we have discussed. Okay. So now let us move on to the next question. Here again find the output, and here we have got print Python editors, right? So here you can just see here when editor R is there, here it is given 1 backslash. So this backslash will be joining with the character R, right? It will be considered as a carriage return. What is the purpose of carriage return? Carriage return moves all the characters. How many characters are there? Only 1 character to the beginning of the line, while overriding same number of characters. How many characters are here? Here only 1 character is there. So that 1 character will be moved to the beginning, and how many characters it will be overriding or overwriting? 1 character. So this P will be overwritten and this S will be printed over here. So what will be printed as the answer? Sython, Sython, Edito, that will be printed as the answer for us. So let us see what is the answer printed for us. So the answer printed for us is Sython, Edito, because this S has been just replaced over here and then P has been removed, and instead of that place we have just received Sython and then Edito, because backslash R and S on after carriage return whatever it is there, that has been brought over here. So we have got Edito as the answer, right? So like we have come to the end of this session. In this session you have just learned what are literals. So literals are the values, and also we have learned how many literals are there in Python. They are string literal, numeric literal, boolean literal, and the special literal none. And also in this session you have learned about string literal and the types of string literals. In the next video we will learn about the next literal, numeric literal. And until then, stay connected with us and bye.